Hello everybody, this is Adrienne at Ascension Soul Coaching. Today is January the 16th, 2023. Today I'm going to do a reading on Lisa Marie Presley. So I'm going to do a reading, I'm going to do it on using the inner child, the inner child. Some way I think that Lisa never really truly grew up. And never grew up out of her father's shadow. At least she didn't think she did. So, we're going to do a reading on Miss Lisa Marie Presley, February 1968 to January 2023. 1-0. In her last week of her life, what was she going through? I'm going to throw 3 cards to give me an overview of what she was going through this past week of her life. So I just put the camera down so you can see the cards. And I still haven't picked them out yet. So we're going to pick out 3 cards. 1, 2, 3. We got the Guardian Angel. There you go. We got the Beauty and the Beast. And we've got Snow White. So the Guardian Angel is, 14, which is Temperance. So she wanted balance in her life. She wanted balance in her life over her children. She wanted, see, these are her 2 daughters, the twins. Now, when her son died, they were saying that the reason she stayed, and this is what I heard, the reason she was staying, people think, is because, and she didn't commit suicide, I want to take herself away from here, is because she wanted to stay here for her children who were still young. Because remember, she was 9 years old when her father died, and she needed to be here. So it was 2 years ago, her kids would have been, the little ones would have been 12 years old. She wanted to be here with her children. She wanted this, she thought about those children. She thought about, I need to be closer to my children, but all of my children. And right now, the only one she wasn't close to at this point was Ben. And so she felt like these 2 had people watching them. She had the grandmother, they had Riley, they had her ex-husband who she was living with. I didn't know that, but she was living with her ex-husband. And then they got their father. So she felt like, I can leave them. I need to be with Ben. But I've been here, I've gotten to an age that they're good. They're good. And I think their father just got remarried, if I heard correctly too. I'm not saying that she was thinking about killing herself. I'm just saying that she's to a point where her thoughts are more with Ben than with them, because she felt they were okay. She felt that they were okay, but Ben was not. Okay, 8. This is the 8, Beauty and the Beast. It's the Lion card, right? And there's an owl here, wisdom, the kingdom, the bird of peace. You know, taming the lion can also be like something, addiction she was going through that she was trying to overcome. Something she was struggling with. So she's fighting with this addiction, or these thoughts. It could be just thoughts that's an addiction, or it could be something that's actually she's doing that's an addiction that's really getting her down and depressed, or she's taking it because she's depressed and want to be lifted up out of that. And then we've got the 9 of Arcana, which is 9, which is a Snow White. And with Snow White, you know the story of Snow White, when sleeping, she sleep, the 7 little dwarfs, they help her wake her because she bit the apple. She bit the poison apple. and the 7 dwarfs came to save her. Wow. But also 9 in the major arcana is a hermit, where there's wisdom, right? And there's growth. Someone wants to be alone. I think she lived her life alone a lot in the past few years because when her son died, it really got her depressed. And so maybe she felt like this was just the end of her journey. Like when you think about it with Elvis in this movie, like maybe this was her last hurrah. This is the last thing she was supposed to do, of welcoming new admirers and fans of Elvis that would then create and bring more life to Graceland, and because they got hit really hard, I heard, by COVID. So maybe that was supposed to help drum up new fans. So anyway, I'm just lift the camera up a little bit. So maybe it's supposed to draw up new attention, new fans, new attractions to a Graceland of some type of way to make more money eventually, because I heard she was having money problems. So that's a big possibility as well, that, you know, but really and truly what it was the end of her reign, because it was the last thing she had to do. I think there will be more, excuse me. So it looks like she had to fight demons, she had to fight addiction or something like that. She was struggling very hard over something. And if you look at the Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs card, what did Snow White bite? She bit a poison apple and she went to sleep. And it took the 7 dwarfs try to help wake her up and bring her back to life. And, you know. But if she bit the apple and she passed away, that was her last act she had to do on this earth, which was to usher in Austin Butler and so that he could win. All she could do, her and her family, for him to win the Golden Globe Awards, and hopefully the Oscar. We don't know yet. What comes out of that for her is that she builds in new fans and attractions to go to Graceland, right? So more people will come out to Graceland. But what's happened is, I think it's still going to happen anyway now, because since she's passed, at least this year, there will be more visitors to Graceland, because they're going to go to the funeral. They're going to go, and when she's buried, people are going to go see her burial spot. So there will be some more interest, some new interest breathed into Graceland this year because of her passing, where they thought it was going to be Austin Butler winning the nomination. Is actually going to be both her and passing and his winning. So she will be a guardian angel over her children. On earth, her children will have guardian angels, which is the grandmother, the sister, the father, Lisa's ex-husband. But she will be spiritually the guardian mother, guardian angel. She lost the battle of the addiction. She bit the poison apple and went to sleep. So that's what she was thinking about this week. She really was thinking about the longevity of Graceland. She was thinking about her children. She probably was feeling sick. Maybe she took some medicine that didn't do well with her, or was medicine she knew won't do well with her. I don't know. I'm not saying she committed, whatever. I'm just saying maybe she took something overprescribed, got her sick, and that last, whatever she took, medicine or prescription drugs or something, maybe it was something to deal with. They said she had stomach pains. I'm not sure, but whatever she ate, whatever she took, was the cause of that led to her death. So, but because this was the last card, it wasn't what she was thinking about all week. It was just the result of what was happening all week. But there has been a lot of attention on to her son. Maybe she was very depressed. She was upset, sick, tried to fight her demons, and it just didn't work out. So that, unfortunately, is what the cards are saying right now. Okay. So now that we know that what Lisa was going through that week, we want to do a reading on where, because I do believe when we die, we don't just disappear, that there is another spiritual world that we go to. Everybody has their own beliefs about what happens when we die. So you have your belief, I have mine. We're going to do a card on how is she feeling now because I believe that there's, even though you're in the spiritual world, there's a feeling, right? There is a sensation. There's still thought and consciousness, I believe, in the spiritual world. Because nothing here has ended yet. This whole world's not ended yet. And so there's still something still going on, right? We just don't see it. Doesn't mean it doesn't exist. So let's just do a card. One card on how she's feeling or thinking, or what she's projecting. And then what is it that she wants us to know? The people who's left behind. I'm not talking about her children. I'm talking about humanity. If she could leave a message to humanity, what would that be? So what we're going to do is we're going to pick this card for how she's feeling, thinking, or projecting. And then this card is going to be for what one thing she could leave as inspirational that's to humanity since she's gone on to the other side. Put the glasses on. First card is Weaving Flowers. And these are oracle cards and I need to read them. This is what she's projecting. Beautiful woman. It looks like one of the pictures they've been showing of her lately when she passed. And I'm going to show you that. Hold on, let me see if I can get it really sharp. On the camera. There we go. And let's see what that card says. Weaving Flowers. Okay, it says creative art of the universe integration. Here we see a woman gathering the delicate petals of blossoms and making them into flowers. It seems like she's weaving them together, bringing a greater whole into being. She's calm and concentrated on her work. This woman is a creator. She draws from the petals falling from the sky and growing from earth. Inspiration to all around. Gather it up to create a new whole. This is what she's thinking and projecting. Flowers. So create. Art of the universe. Integration. Remember that song her father used to sing, How Great Thou Art? I don't think Lisa was very spiritual, but I believe that song really gave her faith. And I think she's now seeing how great God's art is, how great the world is. Like when she was here, she was in a lot of pain and there was a lot of depression and confusion. But now that she's in the spiritual world, she can see how great God really is and what he has created in his art. And every person is a piece of his art that he's created. The universe is art. She's there now with her father. And she can see what that song really means now. And then the other card for her, that's what she's projecting and thinking. This is what she would leave to humanity. Is this card here. And it says, my home is my castle. So, okay. So she's got this little home in her hand and this castle's on her back. Wherever she goes is home. Okay, let's read what that says. Because Graceland was her home, and that's where she's going to be buried now. That's where she would visit. That was the museum. That was where her father lived. That's where fans would come and pay homage. And now that's where she's going to be buried per her song, Lights Out in Memphis, or Lights Out, whatever it's called. She was thinking about my family's buried in a damn backyard, and they got a place left for me. So let's look at 39. It says, the woman on the card carries a big castle on her shoulders. The castle is solid. It seems like it was growing each year of her life. The castle stands for the woman's soul. Inside its enduring walls, she keeps all her memories, her thoughts, knowledge and feelings. The older the woman gets, the more this fortress of life grows. It keeps her company, defends her against pain, and provides the foundation for her true self to continue its journey. Okay, so for me, with Graceland being her home, and she's going to be buried there, and it is a place that people pay homage to Elvis, and now to her, this place where her last place where she technically spoke, I'm not talking about the Golden Globes, just 4 days before she passed, was the home that everybody pays homage to for her father. And now she knew she was going to be buried in that backyard. So now this thing has become her. This Graceland is now her, because that is her resting place. And that's where people are going to come, and forever and ever and ever more, as long as Graceland's exist, that will be her home. That is what she grew into. She was born at the hospital, but she was first place of residence was Graceland. She grew up in Graceland until a certain age. She came back to Graceland when they renovated it and got it up and running as a museum. And it was left to her, and she managed it up until a certain point. And now she's coming back home to this thing that's Graceland, that's always been a part of her, will always now forevermore be a part of her. And so what she's telling people, like, I'm back home. This is where I'm supposed to be. This is where I belong, with my father, my family, and my son. And I hope you still come out and see me at Graceland, because this is where the legend is. This is where the love is. And I want to keep, in some type of way, showing you love and growth as you keep coming in, and new generations can come in and see Elvis and his legacy. And I'm part of that legacy now. I mean, forever, evermore. So she just wants the fans to know that she's back home. It's always been home. That's what she's telling the fans. That's the one thing she wants everybody to understand. She's home. Not only she's home with her father, she's home back at Graceland. It's always been home. Okay, y'all, that's my reading on Lisa Marie Presley. I'm thinking about going to the funeral if it's public. If it's not public, then I'm going to go to Graceland after she's buried. But I do want to go. I've been there before. I went in 1993. I went to Graceland, and I got to do the tour, and I loved it. Never got to go to a concert because I was too young. Never got to meet the Presleys, but you know what? You don't need to. Through Elvis's song and his legacy, and through his daughter's ability to reach out to people on her level to keep that, and along with her mother, with that legacy going, I think we all can, who admire that family and admire the legacy, can say that we've been touched, even though we never really met them. And I think there's a lot to learn from her. Mental health and everything we're doing now. Mental health is so important. Loving yourself. I've never lost a child. Don't ever want to lose a child, but I've lost a parent. And I know it hurts, but you got to get help. You got to be able to talk it out. I know a lot of people can get angry when they lose a parent or they lose a child. And my prayer for them is that they do get the help that they need, and they can ride through the storm and come out on the other side, as best they can, but to be able to be an inspiration to others where they can look up to them and say, if they can do it, I can do it. So anyway, y'all have a great day. Talk to you later. Blessings.